welcome to my channel. I'm Alexa. Today we're making Passover apple cake. I measured out all my ingredients and I recommend that you do so too. You can find the full list of ingredients and measurements in the link in the description. Remember to watch the video first so you can be prepared. First, I'm going to make my topping. To do this, I'm going to combine my cinnamon, sugar, and walnut. You can leave the walnuts out or substitute with pecans. I'm going to stir this with a spoon until it looks all the same. Now I'm going to put my eggs into the bowl of my stand mixer. I'm going to mix them until they're scrambled. Then I'm going to gradually add in my sugar. You can either pour it in while the mixer is going or turn it off and add a little bit at a time. Now I'm going to scrape down my bowl with a rubber spatula to make sure the sugar is mixing in well. Next, I'm going to add in the oil. I'm going to mix this until it's fully mixed in. Now I'm going to add in my matzah cake meal. I'm going to mix this until it's fully combined. Some dry ingredients are sticking to the sides of my bowl, so I'm going to scrape it down again. I'm going to mix it a little longer to mix in those dry ingredients. My batter looks great, so let's move on to the next step. Now I'm going to pour about half of my batter into my baking pan. I'm going to spread it using my rubber spatula so it's in an even layer. Next, I'm going to top it with about half of my topping mixture from before. Try to put it a little over every part of the cake batter so every piece will get some. Then I'm going to place the apples in an even layer on top of that. Try to cover all the topping with the apples. I'm going to pour the rest of the batter over the apples. It's a little hard to spread this across because it sticks to the apples, so I'm using an offset cake spatula. You can use a butter knife if you don't have one. Try to cover the apples with the batter and put the batter in an even layer, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to put a little bit of the topping over the batter. This is optional, and make sure you don't put too much on there because we need a good amount for the top. Then I'm going to cover it with an even layer of apples again. I'm going to put the rest of the topping on top. Make sure that all the apples at least have a little bit of the topping on them because this will prevent them from drying out in the oven. I used my finger to rub the topping mixture across all the apples so it will be covered. Now I'm going to put my apple cake into the oven. My oven's preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. My apple cake took an hour and 10 minutes to bake. My apples started to get dried out at an hour, so I put tin foil on it at that point. You should start checking at 40 minutes. When it's done, it'll pull away from the sides of the pan. Put it onto a cooling rack so it can cool. And my Passover apple cake is done and looking delicious. Please let me know what you thought of the video in the comments and how the recipe went for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can see when new videos are added. Thank you and enjoy!